So Abigail was sleeping, but actually she had her eyes closed. She was thinking about the wonderful camp, the wonderful day when she was a teenager in camp. And she says to herself, I should write about that. So she ripped the covers off herself, and she goes to she gets off of the bed. No, she gets out of the bed, and she goes to she's walking towards her bedroom door. She leaves the bedroom, and of course, she is walking to her writing office. She walks to the office. She opens the door. She walks into the room, and of course, she obviously sits down and picks up her pencil, and she begins writing. Now, before we continue, I would love to welcome you to part 67 of the Abigail Freeman story. Let us continue. So, Abigail says in the book, I was quite excited that I almost overlooked the feeling that my mom was feeling at that time, which was sadness but also excitement and a sense of freedom, secretly freedom. She told me that years later, of course. Anyway, so we both got into the car. I didn't eat, I ate cereal, but that was it. So we left to go to camp. She was going to drop me off, of course. So that's what we did. After a couple of hours of driving to the cabin, we, of course, made it. I made it. I got out of the car. I said goodbye to my mom, temporarily, of course, because it was going to be a couple months. And I was the first one at the camp. The camp counselor welcomed me with a hug. She showed me to my room. She says, well, you're going to have a roommate in a couple of hours. They are sure to arrive in a couple of hours, don't worry. There will be others. I said, cool. Can't wait to meet them. Okay. I'll see you later. She left my room to wait for the others to arrive. I, of course, was very excited to meet those others. I unpacked my stuff, and I fortunately there were hangers. I put my clothes on the hangers, put them in a closet because there were closets, and I, of course, sat down at the bottom of the bed waiting for the others to arrive. After that, they do arrive. I came outside along with the camp counselor, and I greeted them some more. And of course, Robert was there to be greeted by me and the camp counselor. She told me that I was going to be his roommate. So it's going to be me and Robert as roommates. And I was like, cool, no problem. So we came to the room and he unpacked his stuff with my help, and it was quite cool, in my opinion. He was always a cool guy, with the exception of his brother and my wife. He was also cool. Anyway, so we waited for the others to arrive again. And as they arrived at the cabin, everybody was greeted. Everybody welcomed everybody else. We welcomed everybody else. To my surprise and pleasantness, to my pleasant surprise and my enjoyment, I said hi to my friend, which was Margaret. She was a camp counselor, told her with me listening, I was there too. She says, you're going to be roommates with, of course, Richard Mack. She said to Margaret. After that, we just enjoyed ourselves. We decided that before lunch we were going to go to the lake. So we got our bathing suits on just in time, and we went to the lake to do some swimming. And as we were doing some swimming, some other people arrived to the camp. It was Beatrice along with her friends, and they arrived, and we were like, oh crap. We're going to have to deal with them, are we? I said to myself, yeah, I guess we are. So I tried my best to avoid them by getting out of the lake fast enough. I hid in our room. So we hid in our room, and I hid in our room actually, and tried my best to avoid her, which worked for a little while until you know what happened. After that, they got their bathing suits, and they went swimming in the lake. After that, we all went to go eat some lunch. And tried as I might, I could not avoid it any longer. Seeing how I was the one who had her suspended. For very good reason, by the way, as you know. Or as you will know if you read the book, which you will, hopefully. Anyway, she did not like that I was there, and she told me to leave. I said, no, my mom signed me up, and that's when she tried to punch me in the face. Now, luckily, the camp counselor saw that she was about to do this, and stopped it immediately. She told her to leave me alone, or else she would be kicked out, of course. She did not want to be kicked out, because she still wanted to make my life a living hell for what I did to her, which in her mind was very justified. In my mind, it was unjustified, obviously. So I left the situation. I went to my room, or our room. Well, I went to my room along with my roommate, which was Robert, of course. And after we ate lunch, actually, I didn't eat the rest of my lunch. I was not happy about the situation. So I didn't eat that day. I decided to take a nap. A couple minutes later, something horrific happened. You see, I was very sleepy, so I took a nap, right? So as I was sleeping, I smelled something rotten. Somehow, some way, it was, it was, oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this in this book. It was, dog poop. Apparently, whilst I was sleeping, because I was a hard sleeper, they put dog poop in my side, at the top bunk of my bed. And I I woke up smelling this horrible smell, and I saw it. No words can describe how horrific the smell and the look of it was. It was devastating. I, being the good person I am, tried to get rid of it. I did. I got rid of the poop. I put it back where it belonged, which was outside, and I left the campgrounds. I had some money. I had some money, and I bought some air spray, of course. I sprayed it and sprayed it and sprayed it and sprayed it all over my room. Fortunately, it worked. I covered it up. I knew it was them. Because yes, Margaret was a good prankster, but she wasn't cruel about it, obviously. So I decided to secretly confront them about it. So I went outside my room after I got. So I came back out. So after I sprayed all of the air freshener all across my room, I left my room and I walked into, of course, Beatrice's room where she was hanging out with her roommates, which was her friends. And I told her, you may not do that ever again. You may not do that. You may not do that ever again. Or else I will tell the camp counselor what you did. Right now, I'm keeping it to myself because I do not want to get you in trouble again. But if you ever do that again, I will have no choice but to confess about what you did. And before she can say anything, I left. Because I did not want to hear because I did not want to hear another insult out of that girl. So I left very quickly. And I walked back into my room where my roommate was still sleeping in his bunk. And I, of course, went to bed. After that, it was time for dinner. We ate at the same place we always ate, which was the cafeteria at the cabin. The cabin cafeteria. We ate dinner, and there was no problems. There was no issues. There was no problems between me and Beatrice going forward. That won't happen until the next school day. But we don't have to talk about that right now. Anyway, so there was no problems. Dinner went swimmingly. It was actually very delicious. It was very good. Anyway, we got done with dinner, and I went back to bed. I slept all night to make a long story short. And that was it. To be continued. So, if you enjoyed this video and you loved me doing the storytelling for you, I would love it if you just leave a like, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below telling me what do you like about the video or hate about the video. And I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.